gonna be playing this a little bit solo at the moment because it seems that my co-hosts are not on yet. Oh, I stand corrected.
Sorry I'm late.
No worries. Just waiting on Chaos now.
And what are you standing corrected on?
I just said that flying solo a little bit because my co-hosts are a little bit late. I'm now live. Let's see here. Just gonna get me some. There we go. I definitely need to update that channel art. Anyway. Yeah, not sure where Chaos is at the moment. I think he probably had something come up in the background or something. Anyway. Last time, Chaos and I took care of, well, that treehouse. Well, while we were discussing various topics, including, if I recall correctly, a lot of talk about the Batman or something.
Yeah, there was a little bit about Batman in there.
Oh, I gotta...
Of course, I remember basically getting tickled over the references made by the Power Drill mission.
Oh yeah, I remember that now. So now we got ourselves a temple to clean up. Yeah, I remember now. Let's see, where was that? Ah, there it is, the clean the drill mission. You said it was like based on The Last Dinosaur or something ever since we looked at the name.
Yep.
I think I know how to get his attention. Just give me a second. Well, now we are going to be cleaning the temple on Animal Farm in Muckingham.
Animal Farm?
Yeah. Is that another reference I'm missing out on?
Say it again.
Animal Farm?
Say it again.
Why? Oh! Okay, I'm lost on the reference.
Hey, us.
Yeah, sorry.
No worries, no worries.
Say the name again. Now say it fast.
Animal Farm? Why?
Say it again.
God damn it.
Okay, I'm confused. What's going on?
Hey, us, do you get it?
Animal Farm.
Oh! I'm an idiot.
Okay. But still.
Flew right over my head, that one, folks. Anyways. Anyways, the owner, Annie, says, next door to my farm lives an order of the nicest, kindest, non-verbal monks whose temple is currently caked in manure, top to bottom. It's a heck of a story. I'll fill you in as you go, but basically, they're not here right now, and I thought it'd be right and neighborly of me to get a toast down in their absence. So I'd like to give them a boost for when they return. They sure could do with one.
I have a feeling that this isn't going to end well.
No. I got a bad feeling in my gut.
Me too.
I know we've done all sorts of crap jobs in the past, but I think this one really takes the cake.
Yeah. Anyways, a little update in IRL for me. I got myself a different setup for my gaming, so now I'm actually looking at my gaming screen a little bit closer because I got lucky with what I call the side curb treasures.
Oh, really?
I got myself another small desk for my computer. So now,
Excellent.
and I kept the other one, which has a second monitor on it that my sister is not using anymore, and I'm still using the other monitor for my gaming. So technically, I got 2 monitors and a laptop.
Excellent.
And the other thing I had to do was like rearrange the contents of my drawers, because there's some stuff I don't wear anymore, but I don't want to get rid of. So I just blocked that side off.
That's basically what I need to do. I've got so many friggin' clothes that I don't wear anymore, and they're literally
Yeah. Oh, wrong
really
button.
need to either chuck them or give them to Goodwill.
Yep. Anyways, opening the co-op. And waiting for the invite. There we go. There we go.
Right, all throughout this level, you guys keep an eye out. If there are any signs that are crudely painted with the letters facing backwards, you let me know.
Okay. That just tells me.
I'm reminded of another building thing with this, but I can't for the life of me remember like what it was.
Okay.
I mean, right now I'm getting Addams Family vibes.
Yeah, so where to start? Well, you know about the mayor's pipeline diverting the water from a river to a secret mining rig, right? Uh-oh. That one is news to me, Annie. These monks relied on that river to water their crops for time immemorial, and now those crops are failing. Oh no! There we go. Changing it up to the Urban X seems to help out a little more. I figured it'd be a good idea to, you know, change it up to this power washer just in case it helps unlock the other one again.
You still have one in reserve that was still locked for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing that it's unlocked now.
Well, this isn't. Yeah, this one isn't the one. It's the other one that was used in the specials.
It's a really nice looking pauldron that they got.
Yeah. Ah, there it is. So yeah, now I got myself a more comfortable way of gaming while also looking at my laptop and not having to like squint all the time.
Yep.
There we go.
Toya, the braziers are lit. That would actually be kind of cool if once you were done cleaning it, they suddenly miraculously lit up.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way we're spraying our water, we'll probably unintentionally put it out all the time.
Yep. Oh yeah, and as a little fun fact, the game that I played yesterday, I found a contender for Mother of the Year award.
Oh, really?
Correction, worst Mother of the Year awards.
Well,
you.
that's I sort of was able to infer, but what's the story?
So, it's for Final Fantasy 16. I played the demo of it the other day. And to do a brief summary, we're introduced to this character known as Annabelle, who's the mother of the main character Clive and his younger brother Joshua. Her very first thing we hear, is specifically stating that she goes through a sort of hell in order to see her boy, which gives us, she really likes her kids. With LT here actually saying at the time of, oh, what a wonderful mother, only for her to pretty much chastise Joshua for going out despite being a little bit ill, and specifically all but denouncing her eldest, Clive, because of the fact that he wasn't blessed with the uber-duper super powers that his younger brother was born with.
Parental favoritism.
Mm-hmm.
On steroids. It's one thing to have favoritism. In a thing with her husband, who likes Clive, she pretty much states that he is worthless to the family lineage, because you see, they're all nobles and whatnot. Though Clive's father was a lot more down to earth than his noble, twattable wife.
Yeah. Oh, hold on.
To follow up that, though, because, all that would have been, bad enough, but what truly earns Light's ire is that shortly after this, she aligned with a nation with plans on, taking over their land, and effectively gets a whole fortress that was off to, help secure the land's independence, power, for their son and everything, and pretty much gets them all killed. Killed. Getting a bunch of the Archduke's followers to betray him in an attempt, I think, to capture the son, or maybe kill him. I'm not 100% certain on what the whole situation was. So she goes to the fortress where her husband got decapitated, and her younger son, the whole of her world got killed, and she treats it rather nonchalantly, let's say, when working with the enemy soldiers who are in the middle of executing anyone else they find in the wreckage of the previous night's attack. There. They find Clive, again, her eldest son, and the knight asks, oh, we found this one, what should we do with him? Her initial thing is to say, I don't care for him, just execute him. And she only relents because she remembered, I remember now, his father said he would make a fine soldier. Well, he's your slave soldier now. And he's conscious enough to hear that. Not enough to give a violent response, because he's thinking about his brother that he pretty much got possessed into killing the previous night. But, yeah. If he didn't have a reason to hate his mother before, oh boy, does he have a reason now, and I'm along for the ride.
Wow.
Yeah, let's say Final Fantasy 16 takes a darker turn than even tactics when it comes to the story.
And here I was basically preparing to make a Fred Claus joke.
Yeah. Damn, not even the mother from Velma was that bad.
Yep.
And her whole plan was to lobotomize her son with the mind of a girl just because she thought her son was an idiot, yet to take over the family business. Which is really saying something in regards to having crap parenting skills. Well, just specifically having the one child. You don't look that old, lady. I'm sure if you really wanted to have someone else take over, you could have just pumped out another one. But, oh well.
Although, how do we know that the next one won't turn out even worse, because she clearly didn't put enough effort into the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, but long story short, I do not like Annabelle.
Yeah. But yeah, Annabelle is obviously the worst parent, because literally it was this case, oh, you're not born with the powers? I think you should die for dishonoring your noble lineage.
Wow. Even Omni-Man actually had some actual care for Mark even before he got his powers.
Yeah.
Oh, in a desperate act, the head monk sent them out on the pilgrimage of faith. Okay? Now, I know mine where they headed. Only what they took with them was a vast multitude of eggs.
Eggs.
I think we found out who egged the mayor's house.
And here they are getting a cleaning for free.
Well, they gave us more work, so I say, why not?
Yep.
This exposure, they're going out of your way to make sure the guy gets another job.
Yep.
Even if it was unintentional.
Mm-hmm.
In a world where a power wash is in desperate need, one town decide that it was going to act like the whole world was Splatoon, but guerrilla warfare style. There'll be no fatalities, no casualties, only the amount of being thrown around, leave only one man and or woman and or multiple people to clean that up.
Yeah, anyways, back to Final Fantasy 16. This is going to be surprising hearing this come from me, but I think I'm probably going to skip this one because I cannot handle such really dark storylines.
Thankfully, I can, so I will be streaming it with her being my co-commentator, so we could potentially see all the potential good bits of the story may have to offer. Like there's a dog.
I know.
Right, Clive has a little pet doggo, and thankfully the doggo, despite being at the side of the attack, did not die.
Nope. What was the name of the dog again?
Trogia? It was something with a T.
Yeah. Either way, it is a good boy. Good boy lived. And good boy becomes party member.
Yep. It'll be very fun seeing how the whole story plays out.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna check. Gonna check the store again.
I know some people are still disappointed that it's not in the same gameplay as the previous entries in the series, but if it's what the developers want to do, I certainly won't get in their way. Especially since I like the storytelling aspects and whatnot.
Yeah, because there's like one bit where you can actually go into the cutscenes and open up an encyclopedia in order to figure out parts of the story that you are still confused about.
Which I think is a pretty ingenious way of pretty much being able to figure out what's going on in a moment, without necessarily having to open up a Wikipedia on the side while the cutscene keeps playing. It's very non-intrusive too, because all you need to do to activate it is just click on the middle pad, be able to scroll around, and you can quickly exit if you need to. And it updates mid-cutscene, during the cutscene too, so if a new element pops up that hasn't been talked about until then, it will immediately appear. Which I think is a really neat little storytelling device.
Mm-hmm.
God knows the amount of times I wish a game could just inform me more about a subject it randomly brings up. Oh, God. I just suddenly stood up and I was like, what happened?
Yeah, sometimes that happens.
I think it was because you were moving around the ladder.
Really? Huh.
Yeah, because I noticed the ladder icon popped up, but I didn't have a ladder on me.
Weird.
Wow, you know something I find kind of funny?
What?
Hmm?
You know how the actor for Kang recently got into trouble for,
You mean Jonathan Majors?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently the actor for,
Namor?
yep,
Yep, he's
Same
in
thing.
trouble too.
yeah. Not 100% sure of the whole details, I only know that he is in trouble now.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, this is exactly what Feige needs.
Yep.
Oh,
Can't say I'd be
yeah,
too compelled.
Sorry if any of you guys could hear that outside of the pressure washers. It's pouring outside near where I live.
Lucky you, I wish it was raining here.
I'll see about asking Mother Nature to send some down your way.
Please, I've already had enough of the clouds. The smoke clouds.
Speaking of Canada sending things our way, isn't there like a wildfire going on in Canada?
Yeah, sorry about that. We're not
Yeah.
sure how that started. It's
Yeah,
happening in like 3 separate places right now.
Probably just because it's the dry season and whatnot, then you guys probably had some lightning. But the point is that the other day while I was at work, there was smoke in the air. And like I got weather advisory saying that the air was going to be polluted. Like there was like an air advisory that the air quality was going to be lower. So I'm like wondering, where the heck is all this smoke coming from? Is it coming from Canada?
Either from Quebec, Alberta, or like a little ways north of Toronto.
But it's amazing that it could reach all the way across the friggin' country.
Yeah, the
no, it's
wildfire
very
is
strange.
big enough it could do that.
Wow. Man, I thought that's... Is it a hickory forest that's on fire?
Probably. I'm not sure all the forests out here.
Because it smelled a lot like hickory.
Then it probably is hickory. Either way,
Do you
sorry.
Do you like the smell of the smoke then, or?
Well, it was okay, but still made it hard to breathe.
Yeah, like I said, sorry about that. We're not sure what happened.
I'm just
It's-
imagining somebody setting up like a giant field full of certain illegal substances that I will not bring up, and then just setting the whole thing on fire to try to spread the good vibes, as I'm sure some of them would say.
Yeah, I have to smell that every now and then as well. Despite the fact that I'm pretty sure it's still illegal here.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is, that stuff has the opposite effect on me. It usually calms other people down. Me, it just makes me fighting mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one time that I ever partook in it, instead of basically zoning out and just chillaxing, I was basically bouncing off the walls like a mad bull.
For me, it actually makes me overly giggly. I didn't partake in what you're talking about. I did sit in a room I think I did have like some of the more edible kind. Oh, hang on, Annie's talking. Anywho, while the monks were gone, we had a freakish twister. Oh God!
It's a twister. It's a twister.
Oh God.
Kirsten
Yes,
scooped up all my freshly laid manure up from my farm and deposited all over their temple. Oh. Yeah, something tells me their gods were not happy about them egging the mayor's place in protest.
The gods should be on their side.
No, you see, Link, they didn't go far enough.
That seems awfully convenient, though. A twister that takes all the freshly laid manure and just lobs it all over this place. So bit.
I'm sure it was not actually an inside job by the mayor. Mayor has a certain someone feeling regretful now, wanting to clean it all up.
At least now we know how this place got all covered in muck.
Yeah, now we just need to explain the rest of the town.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think this is one of the few times that we've been getting an explanation as to why a certain place is as filthy as it is.
I know, right? The only other explanations we get are on the vehicles.
I know.
You know what I find kind of ironic?
What?
Basically, like, it's summer now, and, well, it's also been spring for a while, so there's a whole lot of stuff in the air, and I'm just noticing that all this stuff is clinging to my car, making it look a little bit dirty, so I'm thinking, you know, maybe it's getting to the point where I need to take this to a car wash, and of course, there are birds in the tree, so more often than not, I usually end up going out to my car and finding leavings on them.
Oh, they're bringing you some good luck.
I guess so.
Oh wait,
So
that's when they poop on your head.
So anyways, after work the other day, I ended up basically driving out of my way to work to go to a gas station that has those squeegee things so I could wipe off my windshield, wiped off my other windows and whatnot. Then I realized that's so clean, I'm gonna wipe off my headlights as well. Nice high shine. I even got some water dripped on the front hood, and realizing that's actually cutting through all that grimy stuff really nice. So I basically ended up squeegeeing the entire car. Basically just kind of gave it my own little impromptu car wash, and car looks good. Car looks all nice and clean. All those ugly markings are gone. Next thing I know, literally the next morning, it's raining. My life is one gigantic exhibition of irony.
That or probably Mother Nature's decided to be nice and give your car an extra rinse.
Remember, irony kills.
Well, yeah, of course. What do you think swords were made out of?
Boldrick, have you any idea what irony is? Yes, of course I do. It's like Goldie and Bronzy, except it's made of iron. I really have one prepared for every single event, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah.
How are things on your end there, House?
Good.
That's
So,
good.
I will admit, part of me is still thinking back about the whole, Namor thing, mainly just because of, what I know of his character in the MCU already.
Yeah. I have a feeling that they basically didn't really go with all as comic accurate as they could have. In fact, I think that they don't even pronounce his name properly in the movie.
Yeah, they decided to pretty much turn him to separate from Aquaman. I think they come up with an explanation. They made him more Aztec and whatnot. And naturally, they decide, as now being a minority, especially a ancient minority from the time of the conquistador, they've decided to have him a sheering hatred for the white man.
Oh, so they actually got at least that part of him right, because in the comics, Namor starts out as a complete ethnocentric racist who is bent on the total extermination of anybody who lives on land.
Yeah, but now specifically he's aiming towards the white people in particular. They're offering up an alliance towards Wakanda in the movie.
Well, of course, that's the only type that they'll be accepted nowadays.
Yeah. And then the thing that really bothers me about the movie is the fact that they have, so they go through this whole military conflict with the Samaritan's people, whatnot, which ends off in the death of Shuri's mother, whatnot. And again, they go through this whole freaking fight, trapping Namor, or beating him up until they eventually decide, alrighty, now that I beat you up, we're forming an alliance. And did that as an alliance specifically not include being genocidal anymore? No. Namor states at the end that he's expecting them to just join up when the time is right, which makes me wonder what the whole point of the conflict anyway is.
Gee, I really wonder why Marvel has been flopping lately.
Yep. Because it's one thing here to have like a villain that is really vile. Then there's just stuff like that. Then there's another thing about specifically trying to justify it just because of the crimes of yesteryear, and then just expand it to anyone with a similar skin tone in a way.
I mean, they did the same thing with Killmonger, and it irritated me then. The fact that they say that he's the best villain in the MCU because so many people agree with him.
At this point, I think they're just starting to become a little bit lazy.
Yeah, they've been lazy for actually a while now.
Yeah.
Whoops! Okay. I'm okay.
I mean, you want to talk about lazy, I mean, Captain America Civil War, they literally planned to have the movie not involve Spider-Man because they didn't know that they weren't sure if they were actually going to get the rights from Sony to use Spider-Man, but then suddenly, hey, they get the rights to use Spider-Man, and it shows that they weren't planning on having it, because you could literally cut Spider-Man out of the movie completely and you wouldn't really have all that much different. Seriously, like, they made such a big deal out of getting Spider-Man for Captain America Civil War. It's like, you really needed to make him a bit more of a player in these events rather than just a piece on the board.
Yeah. At the very least, I did like how he was depicted, even though some people like to make it sound a lot more vile than it is. It's like, oh, Tony brought someone into a war zone, to which my response is, well, not really as bad as like he could have potentially brought him in, because got to keep in mind that Tony was going up against fellow heroes. I mean, Tony justifies it in the Homecoming movie. If Cap wanted to lay you out, kid, he would have. He knew that basically, like, the heroes, since they're all technically friends and good guys, they're largely going to be holding back. I mean, it's like that scene between Clint and Natasha. We're still friends, right? Depends on how hard you hit me. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Because every other time where Peter gets into something a lot more serious,
Excuse me.
Tony's a little bit more strict on that front.
Yeah.
I know, right?
Anyways, Annie's talking. Can you imagine how the monks would have felt if they returned to find their temple completely caked in cow excrement? Excrement? I mean, for anyone, you see it as a sign, right? Yeah.
I have a feeling that a Twister didn't do this.
Well, if Annie said a Twister did, she probably saw it.
I mean,
farmers pay attention to the weather all the time in order to help make sure their crops are growing healthy, they get the right, their animals are doing well, all that fun stuff.
I just have this really weird feeling that something might have happened, and now Annie is bringing us in quickly to cover her tracks. Although I don't know why the monks aren't back yet, because the mayor's house has long since been egged, and basically now it's been cleaned up. So, like, where exactly are they? In fact, where's anybody in this town?
Oh, you see, the monks are actually clever. They knew that we would be called to clean it up, so they're waiting in the shadows. That's that way they can just do it again.
And they're over there standing next to Drax.
Yeah.
There we go.
Eating a Zarg nut.
I actually did see the third Guardians movie recently.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. My sister says that it's a masterpiece. In fact, she even brought up the idea of actually giving me the money so I can go see it myself, just so that she'll have someone to talk to about it. And that was like weeks ago, and she hasn't basically followed through.
Well, if you ever get the opportunity, I would recommend it. It does a pretty good job at what is effectively the final chapter of the Guardians as they were up until now. And, well, given the trajectory of the MCU, probably in general.
Pretty much, yeah. And it better, because, like, they were like one of the last few loose ends.
Yep. One of the last bits that were not specifically screwed up by anyone else, which sadly cannot be said about Thor.
I know, right?
Poor Thor.
I just do not get what it is in Hollywood that you basically hire a director who is so arrogant and so self-promoting that they don't even care about what it is that they're actually making. They're just going to do whatever they want their own way, even to the point where they don't care about the previous lore established by the movie, so they don't care about causing continuity errors. It gets so friggin' arrogant that friggin' Taika Waititi, if well, let's face it, it's not an if, he's literally not getting it, but the idea that they want to bring him in to do a Star Wars movie, he has the nerve to ask Natalie Portman if she wants to be in it.
Which is hilarious, because she's actually already been in the movie.
And I think that his quotes were, "Come on, who doesn't want to be in a Star Wars movie?"
Yeah, we already know how that went.
You guys ever seen the movie? You guys have seen the movie Free Guy?
Nope.
No.
It's the movie that stars Ryan Reynolds. He's an NPC in a massive multiplayer video game called Free City, and the idea is that somehow or another he gains sentience through artificial intelligence and basically starts I don't know, but he ends up basically being like this really cool character that changes things like in the game, and that starts to affect the outside world. But anyways, the point is Taika Waititi is in that movie. He basically plays the CEO who is the owner of the company that owns the Free City game. As far as I'm concerned, he's not acting in that movie. That's actually how this guy is in real life.
Good Lord Almighty.
Mm-hmm.
He is a major bag with a capital D.
Oh, I've heard
Yeah.
of that expression. I even know what the D stands for.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what the D stands for?
Do you really need to spell it out?
Nope. I know what it stands for.
D's nuts. Ha!
Chaos. In the corner. 5 minutes.
But I am in a corner.
It actually is. His setup is literally in a corner.
Well, then face the wall.
Okay.
That's not going to help much either.
I'm obeying what I've been told.
Oh, gosh. And look at the number we stopped at. Come on, let's finish this up. You started this, Link.
Alright, get back to work.
Aye, aye. Do, do, do.
Anyway.
So yeah. Of course, from what I've been hearing, Star Wars itself is not even doing all too great.
In fact, like, the worse it gets for Star Wars, the better the news for us.
Shouldn't be the case, but that is the case given how the company has been run.
This is one of the times I'm happy that actually the video games have been doing way better than the movies.
Which is good, I suppose, because I've heard a whole lot of mixed things about Jedi Survivor. Speaking of which, Chaos, when you get in on that?
I'm waiting for a price drop.
Ah, friggin' EA.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have it set to the higher price, so naturally, waiting till that damn thing goes down, then I'm gonna swoop in quicker than a wombat.
Speaking of such things, it's like, I've heard that EA's Star Wars license is set to expire sometime this year, and yet people are basically expecting that the whole Jedi Fallen Order is going to get a third installment, and it's like, but EA is the one who's making those games. How are they going to make that game if their license is going to expire? Like, everybody's excited that the license is expiring because they hate EA, but they want them to make a third Jedi game. It's like, what do you got? Do you guys not see the conflict?
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one for sure, especially since even with the little bit that I've heard about, I still enjoy Cal Kestis, especially since he's one of the especially since if we're gonna go by the whole rules of representation, which frankly I feel like calling yourself up if you just look for people who look like you physically. My favorite superheroes don't even look like me at all, like Cyborg or Static Shock. But that's besides the point. Cal is a red-haired man, and so is my newest nephew, so that's fun. If he gets an interest in Star Wars, I can show him the Fallen Order games.
I think that there's only one thing that I kind of am apprehensive about. The idea that based on, well, I don't know anything about the game, but I've been hearing that based on where Jedi Survivor is going to end, everybody seems to be under the impression that Cal is going to basically rebuild the Jedi Order. And I'm left thinking, so literally anybody can do that as long as they're not Luke Skywalker. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yep, that sounds like it, but hey, if I had to pick between the two current candidates to rebuild the Jedi Order in the Disney continuity, I think I'd rather go with Cal than Rey Palpatine.
Yes, like we'd all basically rather go with Cal, but seriously, it's like, I'm legit convinced that at some point, like back in the 70s, Kathleen Kennedy must have had like a major crush on Mark Hamill, like during the production of Star Wars, and he must have majorly rebuffed her or something. Because her hatred for Luke is so flippin' irrational. I honestly cannot describe it in any other way. There's literally no other way that it makes sense to me.
Yeah, but and I'll see. It's not just like idle banter we're going on about with this too. There was like a documentary, I think, where they showed up a little bit of Lucasfilm, and one of the things that they had was a picture of Luke and Darth Vader, and they had a red X specifically on Luke's face.
Yep.
Oh God! I've heard of having a chip on one shoulder, but jeez!
I've been trying to find that picture to show to my father because despite of all the other evidence that I've shown him, I still get the sense that he doesn't take me seriously when I tell him how bad things are at Lucasfilm and how this isn't just accidental or incompetence, this is intentional. Okay,
Yeah.
Annie.
So I thought I'd get the whole thing cleaned up. Say the Twister gave the temple some kind of sacred hose down instead. A secret little miracle just between the two of us.
Annie, are you okay? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay,
Are you
Annie?
okay, Eddie? Does that mean the temple got hit by a smooth criminal?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
Now I'm just imagining someone just specifically speeding this up, and then slowing down whole thing specifically to the tune of Smooth Criminal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been trying to find that picture. Blasted.
You probably got rid of it.
Yep, they probably have definitely tried to clear out all the evidence now.
Yeah.
I mean,
What?
they had to like for the Mandalorian season 2 finale, they had to literally lie about the fact that they were getting Luke to basically come back and do a cameo. They told Kathleen that it was going to be Plo Koon. Yeah, Plo Koon, the Jedi that we see get killed on screen in Revenge of the Sith. But what do I know? Shaak Ti has been killed like a total of 4 different times now.
Oh, within like a certain frame of continuity, because she got killed in Revenge of the Sith in a deleted scene. She got killed by Starkiller. Who, despite looking, fairly generic for the time period, I still miss him.
I know, right? Like, why can't friggin' The Force Unleashed be canon?
It's not like it would interrupt the whole thing with the Inquisition, because, those guys are just pretty much evil Jedi who are just recruited off the street if need be, given how the Obi-Wan show painted its key Inquisitor character.
That's something that basically kind of like, I can understand how it works, but it also kind of friggin' bugs me because it only seems like the Sith rule of 2 only ever gets brought up when it's convenient, because it's like, I mean, they've got the Inquisitors, and it's like, they aren't true Sith, but like, to what capacity? What stops these guys from betraying you, killing you, and overthrowing you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The only thing I can come up with is that they just pretty much have the routine, basic understanding of their own, like, Jedi beliefs, but, eh. Like, because I don't fault the idea of wanting to add in more, lightsaber as shenanigans. Because there just might be a better way of doing than specifically having dark Jedi.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Like, for example, like how, like, one thing that was like one of the few things that was, I think, liked in The Force Awakens that they did not even follow up on in the other ones was that one stormtrooper with the shock baton.
Yep.
The guy who's yeah.
TR-8R. Yep.
Yeah.
They did technically bring back the shock battalion in like the last Jedi though, but that looked good it did.
Yeah. It wasn't specifically for that. Because honestly, there's a lot more of a relationship between that one random trooper who shouts "traitor."
Hey, Crimson.
Than hi, Crimson. Than with what was her name? Captain Phasma.
I know, right?
And apparently everyone hates Captain Phasma.
We hate her because she got hyped up beyond belief. Everybody was talking about how she's going to be this really cool character. And hell, the actress who's playing her, the same lady who plays Brienne of Tarth from Game of Thrones, we literally get told that, like, we learn about her through her actions and her character. She literally doesn't do anything in these movies.
Okay, where'd that note come from?
Chaos.
I saw Twister, sir, just lifted up from the very tippity top of the building, and it went right over my head and straight down to yours, I guess.
Wait, you actually saw, like, an animation?
Yes. It was typically on the other side you guys weren't looking at. It was crazy. I just cleaned, like, one little spot, then suddenly it showed up and did its thing. It was mad, I tell you, mad.
Dang it, that would have been great to see.
Anyways, we're doing okay, Crimson. How's your day going? There. You just chill on the footstool there, Mr. Gnome.
But yeah, the most I think we got of Captain Phasma was specifically from was like a comic to more or less explain away how she managed to escape from Starkiller Base and end up in the second fleet thing.
Yeah, isn't that great that you basically need to release supplementary materials to explain away a plot hole?
Yeah.
I hate it when that happens. It's like the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy all over again.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. The thing that bothers me the most about Phasma is specifically just because of the fact that, like, a lot of the relationship they try to specifically set up with her and Finn is not her. Like I said, there was a lot more between, especially the fact that until she pops up as Finn and Rose Chico get caught by the Empire. They're the First Order, whatever we want to call the evil faction. Because, let's be honest, they are practically the same thing, even before going into what they added in later on.
Yep.
Yeah, anyways, I wish you luck on that one, Crimson.
Oh, what did he bring up?
He says he's trying to find a GPU before Starfield's release.
Ah, good luck then. Alrighty, got that clean.
But yeah, the thing with Phasma is she's basically built up as being this really cool, really important character in the First Order that's actually going to be unique. She's literally just an action figure. She literally only exists to sell a toy. And the worst part about it is, I think that they were under the misconception that they could do this and get away with it because of Boba Fett, except that's not really what happened with Boba Fett. It's a lot more nuanced than with Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would you like to go over as to the whys and the hows?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Well, start us off.
Well, I know one thing for certain is that Boba Fett, unlike Captain Phasma, actually does something towards the protagonist. This where Captain Phasma, all she really does in the first movie is stand around, banter for a bit, and that's it. Any sort of scene that could have had her do a thing, they had like Kylo Ren or some other people already there to pretty much do that, so
Oops.
mechanically there, she was pointless. But when Boba Fett was around, it was when Vader was specifically asking for bounty hunters to pretty much help track down the Millennium Falcon, I think.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. And the two share a bit of bantering. Right between Boba Fett and Darth Vader. And we later see Boba's ship, the Slave One, actually do a successful little maneuver in order to practically catch the very clever Han Solo, who managed to slip the Empire and help track him down and, well, effectively figured out where he ended up going. Afterwards, he pretty much worked with Vader to acquire his bounty, because, you know, he was actually the one to help the Empire figure out where he was going and set up the trap for Han and the crew. And there was also a little battle beforehand of Lando, Leia, and Chewie trying to save Han before it was too late. Unfortunately, by the time they managed to reach Han, he was already loaded onto the ship, and Boba was able to get out of reach, which the Empire providing him some support, because they were also still trying to catch the rest of the rebels. Phasma, again, one thing she really did was talk, and when she was specifically captured, albeit by people with just normal blasters pointed at her, she folded very quickly to help disable the shields on Starkiller Base.
Despite the fact that her armor is literally blaster-proof.
Yep. And what could have been a little epic little battle to subdue the fearsome captain that could have at least earned some cool points. She folded and then was apparently successfully thrown into a trash compactor. She managed to get out of that, of course, but...
And this is what happened when you overhype something so minor.
It's what happens when you try to sell a character on appearance, but then just do nothing for them story-wise. It's no telling that this character didn't do too well, and, well, also, and it's, well, kind of a problem as far as the sequel trilogy is concerned, in my opinion. The only where, I think the most marketable female character they ended up having was specifically Rey, but that's mainly because Rey was the central character, and so a lot of moments she had to have, so she is far from the most liked character of the whole trilogy of movies, unfortunately.
That's only because it is Crimson.
Oh, what does Crimson say?
He says this feels like a fanfic description.
Yep.
Here's basically how I see it, because, like, I'm pretty sure that it should go without saying that George Lucas's original script for the first Star Wars movie was much longer than what it currently is now. I'm pretty sure that the first cut of the movie was maybe 6 or 7 hours long, and he had to basically, like, cut it down to the movie that we know it is today. So the script has a whole lot of details, but yeah, it's the script had a whole lot more details that never actually made it into the movie, but did eventually get recycled in some other things that were Star Wars related, like, say, the Star Wars radio drama. Now, basically, I think the difference is that George had a plan with what to do with Boba Fett, even as far back as the first movie, when Boba Fett hadn't even really appeared yet. Like, he basically was really ready to make sure that this Boba Fett character was somebody that you knew to take seriously, because that scene in Mos Eisley Spaceport where Jabba is basically confronting Han about not paying him yet, the whole idea is that it was supposed to end with the revelation that if Han basically doesn't deliver, if he basically messes up on him again, then he's going to send Boba Fett after him. And Han takes that warning very seriously, because that's basically meant to establish that Boba Fett is like the one guy in the galaxy that Han actually fears. I think you might want to check out the brazier at the front of the church, the one on the right side. Anyway.
Nope, I already got that. Ah, it's the barge board. Oh. But
so
yeah.
Anyway, and then when we actually see and hear Boba Fett, the fact that what he does, literally the first line that Darth Vader gives him is a very stern warning that he doesn't want his prisoners disintegrated. So the idea is that this guy disintegrates people when he goes after them. That's not to be trifled with. But then, what's even more astonishing is the fact that Han pulls off a very clever maneuver in order to get away from the Empire. He latches the Falcon onto the back of the Star Destroyer Avenger, and he waits until they get ready to jump into hyperspace, because when they do, they'll dump their garbage load before they make the jump. That way they can just drift away with the trash and not get noticed or detected. That was a brilliant maneuver, and yet somehow Boba was able to anticipate that Han was going to do that. That shows that this guy, he's smarter than Han. Like, he's basically been gearing up to go after Han for so long that he is ready for any kind of trick that Solo is going to pull. So it shows that definitely he's done his homework. This guy, he's intelligent. You're not going to get away from him regardless of how clever you think you are. Plus,
Yep.
There's also the fact that Boba had a very unique design. The Empire was mostly made up of stormtroopers and wearing these big, white, goofy helmets and the plastic-looking armor. The Imperial officers were all these dwarfish guys that were basically wearing straight uniforms and hats. Darth Vader was the only guy among them that was wholly unique. Then we get Boba Fett. He's not exactly a member of the Empire, but he is among the bad guys. He comes in with his different-looking armor. It looks dirty. It looks scuffed up. This guy looks like he's been around the corner a few times. He basically looks like the perfect secondary bad guy. With Darth Vader being the main bad guy, you kind of need someone who's a bit smaller in rank, but someone who's definitely just as dangerous, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. And he had such a unique design that I think that a lot of people basically kind of flocked to that. They definitely wanted his action figure. Plus, he has a jetpack with a missile on it. That means he can fly around and blow stuff up. That's cool looking. And I find it kind of ironic, because I think that was what a contributing factor to what made Boba stand out and be such a unique character. And it's ironic what George Lucas ended up doing with him going into Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. Because I remember the DVD that I have for Attack of the Clones features Jango Fett. Yeah?
We have one figurehead, one door, one ledge, and one window frame that is still not clean. Yeah, sorry about that. Continue.
It's okay. So the DVD that I have features an image of Jango Fett, that's Boba's father or original. Anyway, it's screwy. He's standing out in front of a legion of clone troopers. They're all in the background, and they are like 100% identical to each other, and yet here he is in the foreground, standing basically separated from them, showcasing he's different, he's important. The ironic thing is that all of the troopers, they're all clones, identical clones of him, and he is their original, and yet he basically still stands out unique from them. And so the idea is that with Boba Fett actually being Jango Fett's clone, which he takes to raise as his own son, it's basically a literal scenario where all these guys are literally identical to each other, and yet Boba is the one who stands out uniquely among them. You kind of get what I'm saying?
Yep.
Which honestly is one of the reasons why I don't like that they stopped using clones for the Empire, because, I mean, seriously, you have a completely disposable army, and you just stop producing?
Do we know which window frame it is?
Of course not. That would be too easy.
Looking for it.
I'm looking, and I can't tell which one it is, because it's not...
Okay, it's
whatever
not that
it is,
one.
it's so small that it can't be detected easily.
Not that one.
Like, can you check which one of the windows still has a health bar?
Yeah, hold on. Okay, I said it. I'm looking for you. It's this one!
Yay!
Here, let me move that ladder. Ah, it's on top!
Ah! And on the bottom here.
Got it! I don't know. Sounds the time, but can't clean up my abandoned wop. Ew!
What?
Clement wants me to clean up his bathroom!
Just go from one shitty job to the next.
Literally. You know, I thought being in the shit was supposed to be a metaphor. Get in the hole, Portman.
Alright, let's see here. What does Annie say? Goodness me, they said you were the best, and now I'm a believer. The temple looks immaculate. That's going to give them such a lift. I can look forward to many more years of free labor on the farm. Thanks again.
Free labor.
Oh, it's a public washroom.
Ah.
How long were we streaming?
Let's see. Looks like it's been about,
An
a
hour.
little over an hour.
And if I recall correctly, Chaos has something to do.
What do you need,
Yep,
Chaos?
I got an Elks meeting today, so that means I will have to leave.
Yeah, and unfortunately, this thing's a $700 job, so it's not going to be a quick job.
Yep.
So I suggest we call it early today.
Yeah.
But first, let me check to see. Still not there. What gives?
Maybe it's something you unlock after you've already done all the normal jobs, as much of a pain that is to say.
Maybe. But it was like available for the longest time until now.
Maybe it's
Well, you
something
can-
that can only be bought, like, when you're not in co-op mode.
I even checked outside of co-op mode, but it didn't show. Well, in
Yeah.
any case, I did get myself a new power washer design in the Ornate. Anyways, I think that was definitely what we're gonna do to call it today. because of, well, other things happening in the background.
Yep. It's not. It's always a good idea to basically not go for too long.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yep.
And despite all the craziness in our commentary, I'd say this was a pretty fun job. Next time,
Oh yeah.
we got a washer
I still can't believe
in the
that
clean.
random twister. I still can't believe that random twister showed up and lifted this gnome from its freaking place and into your face. So crazy.
I'm legit surprised that with all this talk of twisters, that the game isn't making some kind of reference to Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Anyways, I'd like to thank Chaos and Link for joining in on this.
Oh, of course. Always nice to get clean with friends.
Yep. And next time, hang on. We got the bathroom to clean. From, yeah, the Buckingham W.C. Glee Street. You know, a lot of folks have been by recently. You know, a lot of folks have asked me recently, Clint, why the heck do you buy a large abandoned washroom when you're ever only going to need it 6 to 8 times a day? I tell you, I'm going to convert it into Buckingham's premier nightclub. Oh.
6 to 8 times a day. And he's making it into a nightclub.
Yeah, I'm going to convert. And I can tell you, ain't no one around here experience acoustics like you get in this place. I can tell you that. Anyhow, I'm a bit of a germaphobe myself, so I've only got as far as taking the cubicle doors off. Could you blast the place? I can see what I'm playing with. Sure.
Blast the place. Good idea. With dynamite, shave time.
Yeah, well, let's also not forget that also the SpongeBob thing is also going to be coming up sometime this summer.
Oh, yay.
Yeah,
SpongeBob.
anyways. Yeah, anyways. Thanks for joining, everyone. And remember, the only real magic you have is your imagination.
And remember, twisters are not miracles from God. They're called dust devils for a reason.
Yep. By the way, have you guys noticed the buildup of clouds, or is it just me?
Oh hey, there's another twister of water that's heading in your direction. Look out! Ah, we're getting hit by the twister. Yep, totally.
Yep. All right. See you, everyone.
See ya.